don't like this topic. I really don't, but for the ease of talking about what's been poppin' in Canucks Nation, let's talk about it. Elias Pettersson and Jordan Binnington. Who's gonna win the Calder Trophy? Normally, people would be saying Pettersson, and that's what the conversation has been all year. Calder, best rookie, Elias Pettersson, hands down 100%. But the St. Louis Blues were bad. They were last in the Central for a good portion of the season, which was kind of weird because everybody thought that St. Louis was going to be amazing going into this season. They stacked up their roster like crazy in the offseason, and they were like, yeah, okay, we're going to make a push. They got themselves Ryan O'Reilly. They got themselves Tyler Bozak. They were acquiring all these guys, and they got Robert Thomas too, in addition with all the guys that they already had on the team, like Braden Shen, Tarasenko, Pietrangelo, Schwartz, etc. This team was looking to become great, but they really weren't. And they were in the gutter. So everybody was like, okay, this is weird. Why are they going to be a lottery team when they're supposed to be great on paper? St. Louis, what are you doing? And they kind of reawoken at the best time possible, because they called up their then San Antonio Rampage starting goaltender Jordan Binnington, who was drafted all the way back in 2011, who is 25, and who wasn't necessarily pegged as a guy who was ever going to become a superstar in the NHL, just because of how he progressed. And he was called up, and taking a look at how things are now, he's played 31 games, and he's at a 1.89 goals against average, and a .927 save percentage. Out of the 31 games that Bennington has played, 29 of them were starts. He's got 23 wins, 5 losses, and 1 overtime loss in these 29 starts. So he's a legitimate number 1 goaltender, playing with the stats of a number 1 goaltender. He's tied for 4th in save percentage in the league. And in terms of goals against average, Bennington is first among everybody. It's incredible. Bennington has legitimately established himself as a comeback NHL goaltender today. And he wasn't supposed to be like this. This was his first taste of NHL action full-time, basically. He had 1 NHL game played before this season, and that one was unspectacular. So now taking a look at it, Jordan Binnington has been a guy who came in at the perfect time because the St. Louis Blues started to win games. Binnington was being really great, and now the Blues are in the playoffs. They're one of the best teams in the Central, and Binnington is a guy who's being pegged for the Calder. And it's understandable to see why. He came in, he became good, and the team is starting to win. But is that enough to put him over Elias Pettersson, who's been dominating, well, not dominating, he's been dominating for the majority of the season. Pettersson nowadays hasn't really gotten a point in a while, hasn't really scored a goal in a while, and obviously it's easy to see why. This is a long season, he's a rookie, he's not supposed to be a guy who can get a point per game, but he's pretty darn close to doing so. Elias Pettersson right now sits at 65 points in 70 games played, 27 goals, 38 assists, and you know Pettersson. Everybody knows Pettersson. He's been everywhere this entire season, which is why when a guy like Jordan Binnington, who's only played 30 games and who's only really had his success for a significantly smaller amount of time in the league compared to Pettersson, Canucks fans start to freak out when people say Jordan Binnington is going to win the Calder. I saw this argument on Twitter, talking about how if it was any other team than Vancouver that Pettersson was playing for, it would be undisputably Elias Pettersson for the Calder. And that's an interesting way to look at it. I know Vancouver likes to spew things out about the media and about their players all the time. Obviously, we're one of the biggest hockey markets in the NHL. We're going to have people who harp on the team more than others. But to me, it's just really hard to think about it like this. Because Jordan Binnington, as we already talked about, 30 games, 29 games started this season for the not even super young netminder. I mean, he's not bad. That's amazing what he's been doing this season. But to say that he's been the best rookie on a team that was supposed to be good, on a team that was really touted to being a playoff team this year, coming in at the right time and starting things off hot. I don't know if that takes away from Elias Pettersson, who was supposed to be heart-worthy if the Vancouver Canucks made the playoffs. A team that was supposed to be bad this year. A team that lost its two best franchise scorers ever. And more or less had the same defense coming into this season, more or less had the same offensive core coming into this season, aside from additions in Schaller, Beagle, and Roussel. Pettersson carried this team and basically leveled it out to what it was last year. Honestly, just watching the games this year versus last year, we're kind of better this year than we were 1 year ago, which is crazy to think about considering that we lost our two best players ever in the Sedins. Pettersson, I'm not going to say that he's the only one who's been driving the play and who's made the team better, but it's certainly debatable because Pettersson has been a new rejuvenation into this lineup. You know that. Everybody knows that. And I don't think, to me, that one goalie coming in at 25 years old on a team that was supposed to be good, when the team becomes good, and steals the show 29 games in a row, basically, is enough to take that away from Pettersson. If Bennington played 43, 44, 45 games of the year and he did this, then great. That's a better case. I think he could probably come away with a really tight vote for first place. But, in my opinion, no. Because goaltender Calder winners, they don't happen often, but when they do, they're usually up and away fantastic starting goalies who have been there the whole year. Bennington wasn't really like that. And I'm not trying to discredit him, but I'm just going to say that Pettersson has been a better rookie. And that's overall what the Calder is about. They were talking about this on the radio. The Calder does not go to the best player who is a rookie. The Calder goes to the best rookie. Which is why Panarin won the Calder over McDavid, despite McDavid being the better player in 2015-16. So, in my opinion, Pettersson's the Calder winner this year. Does Jordan Binnington make a case for becoming a candidate? Sure, he totally does. He was great. But so do guys like Dahlin and Heiskanen and Tkachuk. Even going back to January 1st, Elias Pettersson is still first in rookie points, and Pettersson's slump really started in 2019. Taking a look at the entire rookie race from October to now, Pettersson is the clear winner, and despite what he's been going through the past few months where he hasn't really been scoring all too much, he's still been up in arms the best rookie performer. Which is why I think he wins the Calder. Hope you guys enjoyed. This video plus the show /sign gaming, and bye.